Okay, here we go with another Powerstroke video. It's Saturday, September 20th. As you can see, Saturday night. Kind of a warm, humid night. Not a bad day. It was a pretty decent day. But as you can see, we got the bed off of it again. And what I'm trying to do is straighten up this warped front panel. The front panel is warped pretty bad. And I've already got this rail straightened. I'm going to have to take some body filler and smooth all these little dents out. But I mean, it was bent this way, and actually it was bent down. Yeah, it was bent down and that away. Or actually it was out this way, I'm sorry. But as you can see, even though I got to fix all these little dents where I had to beat on it, and I got it pretty darn flat. There's a low spot there, but that is a dent. Like I said, I'll have to put a skin on it. And it's also pretty decent that away. Of course, nobody's going to be taking a straight edge to it after it's painted, but if you look down through there, it's pretty darn straight. I would show you what a bent one looks like on my black truck, but it's dark outside. I don't think my light's out here anyway to show you. No, it's not. So no, we won't go out in the dark because you can't see through the camera in the dark. But at first, I don't know if you remember seeing, I had this whole panel, almost all of it covered in Bondo. I still have some more straightening to do. Oh yeah, and something else that I did. I made a cut right here and clamped it up to a piece of this steel right here. I think it's 2x2. Yeah, piece of 2x2 by 1/8 inch. And I clamped it up to that, had it clamped across here, and I re-welded that back together. I still got to weld that up, fill in that, but I didn't want to weld that until I knew I had it straight. And that is what fixed that. I tried beating on it, and it just wasn't going to happen without removing the whole panel. But I have another issue, and as you can see, right now it doesn't look too bad, but this, here's what happens. You can push that in and out, and it won't stay. As of right now, that looks pretty good like that, but as you can see that gap right in there? This needs to come in. I've been beating on it and beating on it. I've got this down here pretty decent now, down below here, but from here up, yeah, it's something needs to be done, and it's right here. So what I'm thinking about doing, I'm going to have to make another cut, and thinking about making a cut right here in the center and seeing if that relieves whatever is causing it to stay warped. And then if I can clamp it together and weld it back up, hopefully it will work. I'm going to start just by making a cut from here to here. I may end up going all the way up to about here. I don't know. Because when you push that out, up here looks good. It's really hard to see with this camera upside down, but I don't have a camera guy. So, but yeah, it looks good there and there. You know, of course I have that pushed out, but it will go back, pop back in and stay. And this is a little high right here, but if we can get this cut and we weld it back up where everything else stays like it is without popping back, I can beat that high spot down, and then we won't have nowhere near as much Bondo as we did before. I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of dark and you got glare off that bright halogen light, but there is a body line or a flange right there. And it was so bad before I decided to beat on it, I had covered all this in Bondo and just smoothed it all flat. And it was flat, it looked okay, but I just decided I didn't like it. I wanted it to look like the original bed panel. So I had to grind all that Bondo off. This here, I think I'm going to leave that body filler in there. This was beat up pretty bad. It's not as thick as you think it is. It's just a lot of dents. And that there, yeah, I'll have to beat that high spot down and fill it in. But I'm going to make my cuts, show you what I'm talking about, and we'll see if it works. I'll let you know how it works out. Alright, here's what I've done. I made a cut from there to there. Let's see if we can get up inside of the bed here and give you a better view than what I was giving you earlier in this video. But as you can see where I cut, I've got these little body panel clamps holding it in. If you notice the Allen wrenches, there we are looking upside down again. I use those instead of the actual little short pieces of key stock that slide into the little square slot on these, because the wrenches are longer and it helps draw it up flatter. And actually, the way I have it clamped right now, it's not bad. It's you see a low spot right there, but that's kind of like a dent. But it's holding it in place up here. Of course, it'll still do that, but I'm hoping that once I weld this up with it in this position, that it won't do that no more. And if it does, which it might, we'll have to cut up higher. I may have to cut all the way up to here and then clamp it up like I have it. But we'll see how it works this we've cut right now. We'll just make a few tack welds and take our clamps off and see. I need some more of these right here. They're really handy. I would like some that are a little longer. I only have one of these. I should have bought a pair, but I'll get those later. They're just cheap Harbor Freight welding clamps, but it's not like you have to, especially with body work, that you have to really clamp down on them. So they hold up well for this kind of work. And I had to kind of rig that up because this is the only long one I had. But anyway, I'm going to set the camera on the tripod. We'll weld this up and see what happens. Okay, we're going to try some welding now. Turn my welder down a little bit. I was welding some heavier stuff last time I welded. Try that. Okay, got less ink, need a little more wire speed. I'm just curious, that panel, guess what? Well, it still will. But you know what? It don't seem to do it as easy. So I'm thinking if I make my cut up a little higher, that might fix that. Let's make another cut. I'll turn the camera back on for you. Okay, we made the cut. Well, you saw me make the cut, and I have just tack welded it on. Remove my clamps. I need to finish my welding and grind it down, but I'm happy to say that this experiment is a success, because as you can see, I cannot push that, pop it in or out either way, and it's pretty close to being flat. You see a little bit of the light underneath there. Maybe you can on camera. I know I can. But that will be a very thin layer of body filler, because I'm going to have to cover my weld anyway. But I think we can call this experiment a success. And if you got a stubborn panel that is warped and you beat and beat on it and you just can't get it to stay where you want it to stay, here's a little trick for you. I mean, this is something I can't tell you I knew by experience. This is something that just popped in my head to try. And yeah, it's just a matter of having an open mind and trying some things. And like I said, when you got a junky old panel like this, if I scrapped it, no big deal. And we got this fairly straight, not all bent looking anymore. And of course, I got to cover it with body filler. But you'd be surprised how a lot of really nice cars and trucks out there will have a whole area like that covered with a thin layer. If it's done right, it's a thin layer. I don't really like to say this was bowed an eighth of an inch. I don't like filling all that in, which is what I thought about doing at first. But I'm glad I changed my mind, because actually that is a good, easy way to fix that, get it flat. Now I have one more spot, maybe, unless it decided to pop out. Now right there. So I'm going to go ahead and make a cut from there to there. I think where I'll probably have to go, yeah, from there all the way over to there. And we're going to do it the same way. And I'll show you what that looks like, and hopefully we'll call this a video. Okay, we got it all welded up. I haven't ground it down. I'm going to do that in the morning. It's like 10:30. Might not be super late to some of you people, but I've been getting up 4:30 in the morning for the past 25 years. That's pretty much the kind of hours you work in my trade. So I'm pretty much not a late night person anymore. I can when I have to, but if I don't have to, I don't. But anyway, it turned out pretty darn good. So yeah, this right here is a lot better than it was. It's not perfect. You see a little gap, but whenever you weld a panel, okay, yeah, and right there looks really good, and you can see it's pulled in a little bit. But once I grind them welds down, I will do a little bit of beating and tweaking, whatever you want to call it. But there's your seam. Not much to grind off of this side. I'll grind most of it off of here, and I will have to take it slow so I don't warp it. And usually when I grind welds on a big thin panel like that, I use a thin cutoff wheel because it's less surface of the actual grinding wheel on the metal, and which means less heat. And speaking of not warping your panel when you're welding it, I think I've covered this before. I usually, whenever I have a big seam like this, I'll go like 1 inch from the edge here, 1 inch from the edge here, just one little tack weld like you saw me do earlier. Then I go in the middle, and then I just go back and do one between those two, and then I keep doing that until I get like a bunch of them all the way across, like 1 inch across, 1 inch from each other, and then I stop, let it cool, then go back and put another bead in between those, in between that 1 inch length between those welds, if that makes any sense to you. But it's very tedious, takes some time, so that's how you weld it without a lot of warpage. You're going to get some, and you'll have to work it out. But anyway, I think we've made a big improvement. It's just one step closer. I know it seems like this project's taking forever, and honestly, I haven't been working on it a lot. I go 2, sometimes 3 weeks without touching the project, so that's why it seems like it's taking forever, and it is taking way too long. But you know, I got other things going on. You see that in my videos, and a lot of stuff you don't see in my videos is going on. But we'll just keep plugging at it. I think one guy, the reason I said that, one guy made a comment, it looks like you just quit on it. I haven't seen any videos. If you don't see any videos for a while, it doesn't mean I've quit. It just means that other things have gotten in the way and I haven't been working on it. Or maybe I am working on it, and when you're doing a lot of body work and stuff, it gets to where your videos are showing the same thing over and over again, and I don't really think I've got anything worth putting on video for you other than maybe a short video on the progress. But no, I'm not quitting on this. I've gone this far. It'd be crazy to quit on it. But sometimes, yeah, I do go for a while without working on it. Doesn't mean I quit. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks to my new subscribers. We've got like 620 something subscribers. Thanks for your comments, the likes, keep them going, thumbs up, even thank the one thumbs down on like every other one of these videos, whatever, you know. Everybody's got one guy, every guy on YouTube that has a channel has got one guy that gives a dislike as soon as the video comes up. I follow several channels, it seems like as soon as the video's up he gets one dislike, so everybody's got one of those. I think I got a disliker from Australia somewhere. If you look at the analytics, or however you call it, whatever you call it, you can tell what region your likes and dislikes come from. Thumbs ups and thumbs down. I got one guy in Australia that doesn't like my videos for some reason. No big deal. I'm not upset over it or anything. It's just kind of funny. But anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, keep the comments and the likes coming, hang in there. Hopefully we're going to start showing some better progress on this truck.